Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. A young woman, Rachel DelTondo, was gunned down at her mother's house on Mother's Day in her driveway, and she had just returned from getting some ice cream late night around 11 o'clock. She was returning with a friend. I saw that in a report, and I guess the friend dropped her off and then pulled away before she was gunned down, I would assume, but I don't know that, and the details are there's not a lot. They don't have a suspect, and they don't have a person of interest. It's reported here in the in this Fox piece. They've pulled from a couple different articles that she was suspended from her teaching job at a charter school back in October of 2017 for something where there's a police report, but charges were never filed, and I'll get to that in a second. But people are theorizing on was there a possible motive there. According to the district attorney, they've not released any motive, and they're just very unclear as to what they're investigating every avenue. I think they now have a cell phone in their possession, but it's not known if it's her cell phone or the victim's cell phone or potentially the assailant. So Rachel DelTondo was returning from ice cream shop Sunday night when she was struck by a hail of bullets. Reportedly, neighbors heard 10 to 12 shots and also heard her family come out as soon as it happened. I don't know how the person was able to, get out of there so quickly, whether on foot or in a vehicle, I don't know. So, by a hail of bullets on the driveway outside her family's Aliquippa home. I counted 6 shots that I heard, Fred Poor, a neighbor, said about the shooting. Several neighbors said they heard up to 12 gunshots. DelTondo died of multiple gunshot wounds to the torso. Police are hunting for the suspect, but authorities have released no description as of Tuesday. She's obviously, she's only 32 and, attractive. So DelTondo was an elementary school teacher at Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School, an online public school in Midland, until she was suspended in 2018. And according to somebody that spoke to WPXI, a mother of a former Aliquippa High School student also told WPXI about an incident involving DelTondo and the woman's 16-year-old son. A police report from 2016 said the two were found in a steamed-up parked car around 2 a.m. She had told police the boy had called her because he was upset and needed to talk to somebody. Needed to talk to. It says take to, but I think talk to is what is meant there. She insisted they were friends and that she didn't want her fiancé to know about the meeting. The report said no charges were filed. The 32-year-old was supposed to get married prior to her suspension. The wedding was ultimately scrapped and called off. And there's another article actually about a wedding dress, a very expensive wedding dress that she had pre-ordered, and there was an issue with the designer and stuff. So, but the DA actually says in his report here that this was a shame. I think that police report, it's required that it gets turned over to the school because he's a minor or something like that. So she ended up getting suspended, I believe, with pay while she was being investigated. But he claimed that somebody was actually just it was a personal vendetta against her, and that it was a shame that it came to that. I'll play that in his comments here.
Loading information. We are interviewing witnesses. We are doing everything we can.
Lozier says DelTondo was shot at close range after coming home from getting ice cream. Investigators are saying nothing about a motive or a suspect, but the DA did address speculation that DelTondo's murder may be related to her suspension from her teaching job at a Pennsylvania cyber school after a police report was leaked showing DelTondo was found in a car with a minor.
It's shameful that this woman was painted with a police report that had been written that did not result in criminal charges.
So was she...
It was a personal vendetta against her at the time.
Lozier also said the community should not be in fear, but he would not say whether this was a targeted attack.
Okay, so it was leaked. I assume somebody leaked it to the school that caused her to get suspended. And And that's pretty much the story there for now, man. We don't know much more than that. The death of suspended school teacher was shot in her mother's driveway, Aliquippa, on Mother's Day, has been ruled a homicide. And motive for the fatal shooting, 33-year-old, I think she's 32, Rachel DelTondo, remained under investigation. Beaver County District Attorney David Lazier said investigators took a cell phone to Harrisburg to be downloaded and checked for evidence. He did not identify the owner of the phone. DelTondo was suspended in November from the Pennsylvania Cyber Charter School after the anonymous leak of an Aliquippa police report from 2016 that she had been found in a parked car with a 17-year-old former male student. No charges were filed. It's shameful that this woman was painted with a police report that had been written that did not result in criminal charges. That's exactly from his statement before. There was a personal vendetta against her at the time, and I don't know who that could have been. I mean, we can only speculate. And it's pretty unbelievable. It's obviously sad. It's terrible for her family. And I believe, they literally discovered her immediately after it. It's terrible. And she was actually on the news about the wedding dress, as I mentioned, I think, quickly. And here it shows that a brief clip from that report. It was over a very expensive dress that she had to cancel because the wedding was called off, and there was a large deposit she put down, something like that. But they show you a little brief news clip about that, and then it also mentions the leak of the police report to the school system to get her suspended, which led to her suspension. And let's watch that real quickly before we finish this.
Why that happened, I really don't.
We met Rachel last year when Marty Griffin interviewed her as a bride-to-be over a dispute about her custom wedding dress. She broke off the engagement, but months later, she was the victim of confidential information leaked from the Aliquippa police concerning her and a former student, which got her suspended from her job at PA Cyber. But sources say this also prompted a state attorney general investigation of the Aliquippa police, and that Rachael cooperated. Any comment, Detective? Not at this point. It's not clear what, if any, this turn of events has to do with her murder. Neither the Aliquippa police nor the district attorney would comment on the investigation or whether any suspects have been interviewed. But her neighbors are in disbelief.
Beautiful lady. Friendly. Knows everybody, knew everybody, talked to everybody.
Now, it seems clear that Rachael knew her assailant, but investigators aren't saying much. There will be a meeting here tomorrow at 10 a.m. between the Aliquippa police, the state police, and the district attorney. They are expected to make a statement at that time, and we will be here. Job at PA Cyber. But sources say this also prompted a state attorney general investigation of the Aliquippa police, and that Rachael cooperated. Any comment, Detective?
Just quickly want to play that because I didn't catch that the first time, the state attorney general investigation of the Aliquippa police over the leak. So, it also says here very quickly, there's a headline that reads, police looking at Aliquippa woman's murder as crime of passion or jealousy. And that's pretty much, there's not much more detail in the article to that headline, but that's a newer headline. Feds, remember Aliquippa woman killed in crime of passion or jealousy. It says Channel 11 learned new details on Tuesday in the investigation into the death of a woman who was shot in her parents' driveway late Sunday night. The Beaver County District Attorney won't comment about motive or suspects in the murder of Rachel DelTondo, but sources close to the investigation told Channel 11 they are looking at this as a crime of passion or jealousy. Could not be taking this more seriously. We have a young lady shot to death on the driveway of her mother's house on Mother's Day. Very sad, said Beaver County District Attorney David Lazier. And sources said DelTondo was shot at close range, hit at least 10 times with bullets from semi-automatic pistol. Police said DelTondo was getting out of a car at her mother's house when she was hit by a barrage of bullets and died in the family driveway. That's confusing to me because I thought she was with another person in that car. Why wouldn't that other person in the car? I don't know. It's just not clear. As you know, phones and computers offer a lot of information. Looking at the cards and information was deleted. That's what Lozier said. Police said DelTondo was getting out of the car at her mother's house when she was hit by a barrage of bullets and died in the family's driveway. Quote, as you know, phones and computers offer a lot of information. We are looking at the cards and information that was deleted, Lozier said. The district attorney has taken several phones into evidence to look at incoming and outgoing calls and text messages. Sources said that they have the victim's phone and several others. This is all new info. That's why I'm just reading through it real quick. Authorities were back in the neighborhood Monday and Tuesday collecting surveillance video. Channel 11 has learned that police have interviewed several people, witnesses, and possible persons of interest. I'm not going to talk about suspects. We are investigating everyone who was driving around Aliquippa in that area that night around this young lady's house, Lozier said, the district attorney. And that's it. All right, that's it. That's all that's known for now. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.